others, and I hope they're ready to get beat. By the way, I won't be talking as much. So yeah, I'm just going to mute my mic.
Tonight, from the Superdome in New Orleans, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
The kicker for the Saints, Will Lutz, has it teed up, and here we go from New Orleans. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out, and he returns this to the 22. Play action, it's Brady. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Quan Alexander. Line of scrimmage to 31 now on 1st and 10. The first carry now, this is Alvin Kamara. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Opening minute, and already a trip to the red zone. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Adam Troutman. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Saints have taken the early lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Winston to throw for it. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
So they went for two and failed. They didn't use him on the PAT, but now he boots this one away with a 6-0 lead. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Here we go again with Tom Brady in Tampa's offense. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
Now a play fake. Brady. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big play that time through the air. 37 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Now Brady again. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Dancing to his left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And the Saints will take over possession here up at the 44. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he goes down, but not before getting us inside the 25. 47 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. On play action, Winston steps away. And oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
Jameis to throw it. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Marquez Callaway there to make the grab. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's got it to make it now 13-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well. And they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill it for a loss.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
Returnable here for Callaway. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's 2nd and 10. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down. Play action now. Winston. He'll buy some time right. Looking long for Thomas. And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. A big-time play there for New Orleans.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure is good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Buccaneers are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Tyler Johnson, 66 yards. And the Bucs get the quick strike touchdown.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
You said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. So the extra point good, and the roughing call going to move the ball out to the 50 for the kickoff.
And I think this is a good chance to pin them deep if you can land the kickoff inside the 5-yard line or so. Gain some field position for your defense.
And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right?
Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Off the play fake, Winston. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. A big connection on that one. 39 yards.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw, Winston. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job in 10 after the incompletion. From the gun, Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Airing this one out for Evans. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucks. Mike Evans, 48 yards. And the Bucks are just an extra point away from grabbing the lead now. Extra point put through by Succop. And with it, his guys take the lead here by a point. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. The Saints on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. They'll roll him out right. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Looking long for Thomas, and it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively, and it'll bring up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
While you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards, they're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They're going to try for it on 4th. Winston stays out there. They're indeed going. It's Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting.
They are not ready for us.
And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. So they go on fourth down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the... Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll run. This is Kamara. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Here's Winston. A throw over the middle taken in by Troutman. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. On 3rd down, Winston. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jamel Dean. And the Bucs are going to take the...
Today, from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, this is the NFL on EA Sports.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a terrific return as they finally do stop him, but not before he's inside the 15. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
And Mahomes going to run again. Oh, spinning away. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now a 7-0 game. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble.
Entering settings screen, you have 19 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
The ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum.
Trying to fight his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play there. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. Pretty sizable gain of 8 that time on the keeper, but now it's 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key down.
Touchdown! Tyreek Hill, 59 yards. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that well.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up, and now a fumble. The ball's out. Sammy Watkins, he's going to go. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession. I know he was trying to get the completion downfield.
John Harbaugh never shy about bringing out the red challenge flag. So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Oh, that's it.